Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
Right now we are standing at the home of a famous hotelier in Goa, Mr. Clifford Fernandez. Now Clifford Fernandez lost his mother due to COVID. And of course, she was admitted in the Goa Medical College and Hospital. This hospital being the biggest hospital in Goa. He again recounts the horror of those 7 days which he had to face while his mother was in the ward. No oxygen cylinders, low oxygen pressure again at night, which is again a case of worrying because there are many allegations against GMC that the doctors or the staff, they deliberately used to switch off the oxygen line at night to save oxygen for the next day. So again, here Clifford says that his mother was admitted on the floor. She was lying on the floor for 3 days. A patient of pneumonia, a patient who needed immediate care. She was critical, but for 3 days she was lying on the floor. Somehow they managed to shift her on a stretcher, which was of course better than the floor. But again, she had to be shifted on the stretcher. There were no beds available. At least 25 to 30 patients waiting outside on wheelchairs for three days. This was the scenario at Goa Medical College and Hospital. Clifford, आप बताइए आपकी मॉम को आपने कब एडमिट किया and what was the condition at the hospital?
I admitted on Sunday. It was because when we went to the local hospital, they told us we cannot cure these cases here, so you'll have to take her to JMC because it's more equipped, and there are a lot of chances of you getting oxygen there. So that was the only hope. So we took her there, and then it was a Sunday. I remember, it was so hectic. I was so involved with my mother, I didn't even know which day it was, what was happening, whether it was a Sunday, Monday. It was like we were just busy, just looking at thinking where the oxygen coming from, where will the oxygen. Every time we used the oxygen for my mother, it was for around about 4 or 5 hours. Then we started with one, and after 2 hours we used to wonder where will the other cylinder come from. So it was like desperately, it was a race for survival. My mother, I wanted to somehow see that she lives. So whenever I was there, so there was no problem because I used to go and call the doctors, because which the doctors don't come otherwise.
Okay.
So
Clifford, you told me when your mother was admitted, she did not get a bed.
no, she did not.
What happened that time?
There was a lot of patients after us who were waiting for a bed. So we told the doctor, see, she needs oxygen. We can't give her oxygen on the wheelchair. So at least put her on the ground. Then they said, okay, we can put you in. It was like a small room where there were 6 people sitting, and 6 patients and 6 people looking after that patient. There were 12 of us there, and no facilities, nothing. And we were wondering what's going to happen. No fan in the room, nothing. It was so hot. Such desperate conditions everybody was in, not just my mom. Everybody, you wanted good facilities for everybody, just not for my mom. And I was wondering what's going to happen. And she had pneumonia, and sleeping on the ground, I felt like it would bring more damage to her lungs because she could pull that cold. I don't know. From there on, it was like we were just praying because there was nothing we could do. They said there are so many people waiting outside. If not you, there is somebody else.
So, Clifford, tell me one thing. Why didn't you shift her to any other hospital, any other private hospital?
When I spoke to the doctor told me the best chances of you getting oxygen is in this hospital, because this is supposed to be the main hospital of Goa. So and without.
But still, there you did not get the oxygen.
No, and we spoke to a lot of hospitals outside. They didn't want to take any patients coming from GMC.
Okay. Why particular GMC?
Because whenever cases get worse there, they send them to GMC.
Okay.
So they don't want to take anybody from GMC coming there. So okay. And there were no beds. They clearly said there were no beds.
Okay. What was the condition inside? You said your mom could see people dying around her.
Yes, people. I'm telling you, I was there. People next to her legs, next to her side, on the right hand side. People in the ward. People are dying. People are crying. It was a very bad scene. I'm telling you, I was there for 7 days with my mom. It was on a Sunday that we admitted her. The next Sunday she died. And during that time, now the toilets were choked. There was no water. There was no water in the toilets. Toilets are floating, and it's like people are vomiting. There was a lot of vomiting in the wash basins. Unhygiene everywhere. People are no sanitizers. Although the sanitizer bottles are there, they're empty. No sanitizers, no oximeters. The one oximeter is used for the whole ward, and the doctors are running around to find out where the oximeter is gone, because if the oximeter is missing and the patients want. So I had one for my mother. I was lucky to have one because there was a shortage of oximeters during that time. And then I used to lend mine to the other patients, because for me it was like everybody else also should survive. I'm telling you, I had a prayer in the morning every time I came to see my mom, and I said, God, please don't let anybody die in this ward today, because I've seen enough of that. So I was just praying every day. That was my prayer.
Tell me, Clifford, you were in conversation with your mom. Your mom was in senses. She was talking to. What was she saying?
She said she wants to go back home. She said she wanted to go back home because she just, I don't know, she wanted first, before putting her in the hospital, she wanted to come to the hospital, get well and go back home. But after that, after seeing the conditions around, the people dying around her, she just wanted to go back home. Well, I don't know. Just don't know. Just don't know. I wish I could take her well back home. Yeah, that's what I miss doing. That's what she's haunting me now after she died. I wish I could do something better for her, take her somewhere better instead of taking her to GMC, because now my friends were telling me, Clifford, maybe putting her in GMC was the biggest mistake you could do.
So tell me one thing. There is this thing which everyone says, that the oxygen supply drops between midnight to 6 a.m. Did your mom experience the same thing?
No, my mom was on a personal cylinder. They had these cylinders, was a personal cylinder,
Which you arranged?
which most of the time was arranged by me.
Yeah.
Because I used to go out and get a private cylinder for my mom, which was arranged by me. Because but the others who were on ventilators, they kept complaining, saying that the oxygen is less, the ventilator is not working. They asked me to check whether the ventilator is working, and I used to go down there and tell them, "Arey, oxygen is less." And they used to keep telling me, and this used to happen on those lines which were fixed lines. With my mom, I just had a cylinder, and that cylinder used to get over every 5 hours. And every 5 hours, I used to wonder where will the next cylinder come from, because this whole ward, they were just getting 3 or 4 cylinders.
So where did the next cylinder come in?
The cylinders used to come every 5 hours, 6 hours. They used to get a dispatch after every 5 hours, 6 hours. I'm telling you, I used to go down and wait for that. There's be a big trolley getting cylinders, a tractor coming with all the cylinders. I remember my childhood days. I'm telling you, I used to see an ice cream cut, and I used to get so happy seeing an ice cream cut. It was so that was the happiness I used to get to see a trolley getting oxygen. I used to say, "Arey yaar, meri maa bachegi, baki ke log bhi bachenge yahan pe," because it was so bad. It was so bad.
Tell me, what all you had to arrange yourself for your mom in those 7 days when you were in the hospital?
We did arrange for our own food, because for her also, because she didn't like this hospital food, because we used to make oats and all this type of things which she used to like to eat when she was at home. Arrange food for ourselves, arrange medicines. We arranged a lot of medicines from outside for her, because there was a shortage of medicines like doxycycline, I think it is doxycycline. That was the thing which was the main medicine which is used for COVID, which they didn't have, which we arranged from outside. And when my mom started having loose motions, we started getting the medicines and all from outside for her, so that because I think the hospital didn't have. We had our own oximeter.
You had to arrange for fans.
Yes, there was no fan there. Where my mom was on a stretcher, there was no fan, because it was a lane to walk. It is not a place where you can sit or something like that. It was just a walking path where they put people on the ground on the stretchers. So we had to get our own pillows. We had to get our own bed sheets.
Okay, when did your mother's condition start to deteriorate?
After 4 days.
Okay.
After 4 days, yes.
And she needed ventilator?
If she was on a ventilator, she would have survived.
Why she couldn't get a ventilator?
There were just a few of them. I spoke to the dean of the college, and he told me that he would try to arrange, which other doctors had told me that we cannot arrange because everybody's on a ventilator. So the minute we'll have to wait for somebody to die.
Oh.
They told me, we'll have to wait for somebody to die, then only you will get a ventilator.
They really said that?
Yes, the doctor said that to me. They said, I'm telling you, and I've realized that myself. If you want a bed there, you have to wait for somebody to die. That is the scene at GMC. That is what is happening in GMC. You want a bed, you have to wait for somebody to die. That's the only way you can get a bed. Otherwise, I don't know.
And after you requesting for a ventilator from Dean, within how many minutes did your mother die?
30 minutes.
And how much time did he ask for a ventilator to be arranged?
One day, he said he would try. He said he didn't promise me for a ventilator. He said he would try to get a ventilator, but he'll give me a day. I spoke to the dean. The dean said that he would take a day.
So that was Clifford. So a very shocking thing which he has told us right now, that the dean of the hospital tells him that they have to wait for someone to die so that his mom could get a ventilator. Now I have really no words to say. I have no reaction at the moment, because nowhere in all these times no doctor has told a patient like this that just let's wait for a patient to die, then we'll provide you with a ventilator. So this is beyond imagination what the condition will be of other patients at GMC. This is just one of the cases which we are talking about right now. There are hundreds who are suffering from the same circumstances, and many more who are dying without proper care, without ventilator, without oxygen, without treatment, without doctors. With Santosh Pandey, this is Nazia Sayed for Mojo Story, Goa.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.